action.
I, Rufus,
Do
hereby swear
testimony which I am about to give
that the testimony which I am about to give
is my recollection,
and to my recollection,
the truth,
the truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Please sit.
What's that?
Honorable Chairman and members of the committee, the nominees, designate, and I qualify for the year.
Thank you, Mr. Sergeant. Have a seat, kindly. So now we are about to begin this, sit down please, nominee. We are about to begin this very important hearing. Let me just admonish you that time is not in our favor because we got other confirmations coming up. So our responses will be very brief and to the point. And it is a security confirmation. So for any reason you have, if a question is posted, it has a security implication. If you can't answer it, you have honor obligations to ask for us to have further discussion in committee room. So you now have an obligation to answer a question that you know will jeopardize national security interest. Having said that, I want to kindly ask my colleague here sitting to kindly introduce themselves, starting from a far left.
I'm Abraham Donald Dillon. I'm Senator of Monterey County, and I'm a member of the Defense, Security, and Intelligence Committee.
I am Daba Mabane Fatula, Senator of Grand Cape County. I'm a member of the Defense, Security, and Intelligence Committee. Thank you.
Pleasant good morning to all. My name is Jonathan Charles Sobe. I represent the people of River G and I'm a member of this committee.
I am Samuel Gongwe Kuma, Senator of Nima County, member of the National Security and Defense Committee.
You put a citizen right there.
Senator Thomas Yaya Libre from Grand Jere, member of this committee.
Thank you, colleagues. I'm pleased to make a special welcome to our colleague that just got elected to this committee. Thank you, Mr. Senator, for being here to participate in this hearing. So my name is Momo Tani Kotisaras. I represent the people of Lufa County, and I'm happy to chair the Committee on Security, Defense, Intelligence, and Veteran Affairs in the Liberia Senate, and I'm also a member of the leadership of the Liberia Senate. Thank you so much. So we will go on the fourth item, nominees, starting with the Assistant Minister for Public Affairs, Minister of National Defense, to kindly give us just 5 minutes, not more than 7 minutes. 2 minutes will be allowed to give us why you think you're competent and qualified to hold such a very prestigious position as Minister of National Defense.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thanks to members of this committee. My name is Oscar F. Mulbah, Assistant Minister for Press and Public Affairs, Designate. Let me, by your permission, recognize my family, pastors, and defense authorities who are here this morning. Honorable Chair and members of the Senate's Committee on Defense, Security, and Intelligence, I'm deeply honored to come before you today as the Assistant Minister for Defense, for Public Affairs, Designate at the Ministry of National Defense. My gratitude is to God Almighty, firstly, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai Sr., and to all others for the confidence reposed in me to assume this noble role. At this time in our country's history, to me this role is not merely a position, it is a commitment to serve the people of Liberia, uphold the integrity of the armed forces, and ensure transparent and effective communication between the Ministry of National Defense and the public. I pledge to the people of Liberia, through this honorable body, that I will do my utmost best to protect a positive image and maintain the sanctity and aims of the Ministry of National Defense when I'm confirmed by you. I also want to extend special thanks to the leadership and members of the Senate for the privilege afforded me to serve you, the elders of our country, as your Director of Press and Public Affairs since March of this year. Though this tenure was brief, it was truly a period of gaining new insights, shared experiences, and an opportunity to bear true witness of how much love and interest, as well as the efforts each of you exert to ensure Liberia is better. Please convey to the rest of the senators that I truly cherish this opportunity and can only long to work with this body again. Distinguished Honorable Chair and esteemed members of this committee, this Assistant Minister-Designate before you today have had over 10 years of proximity to the Armed Forces of Liberia and the Ministry of National Defense. During these years, I devoted my time to understanding, learning, and appreciating our armed forces and the work that they do, while also advocating for the dignity and well-being of members of the armed forces of Liberia. For example, during my time as a mainstream journalist, I collaborated with the hierarchy of the armed forces to ensure that personnel tactics who got injured during a mission in Malay was flown out to India to seek advanced medical treatment. And advocacy for the welfare and morale of the armed forces resorted to the purchase of fleet of vehicles for the former Chief of Staff, Major General Retired Prince Charles Johnson III, and then Deputy Chief of Staff, Brigadier General Retired Gerald Engineer George Johnson, now the Honorable Minister of National Defense. I also collaborated with the armed forces to set up a two-person committee and produce the first newsletter of the armed forces of Liberia. Honorable Senators, public affairs within the Ministry of National Defense serves as the bridge between the military and the civilian sectors. In contemporary security management, it is not sufficient to merely inform the public. We must engage, educate, and build trust, ensuring that the ministry's actions and decisions are communicated clearly and promptly to foster understanding and support among the populace. It is imperative that we highlight the positive contributions of the armed forces of Liberia in areas such as peacekeeping, disaster response, and community development, thereby reinforcing the bond between the military and the communities it serves. I am cognizant of the importance of an informed citizenry in a democratic society and will work diligently to provide accurate and timely information. A cornerstone to my approach will be to strengthen the relationship between the armed forces of Liberia and the communities we serve. I will advocate for initiatives that promote mutual respect and understanding, ensuring that the armed forces of Liberia remains a force for good in our society. In addition, the well-being of our men and women in uniform is paramount. When confirmed, I intend to work closely with the Honorable Minister of National Defense and all lieutenants to ensure that their needs are addressed, that they receive the support and recognition they deserve, and ensure that their voices are heard in policy discussions. Honorable Chair and esteemed members of this committee, when confirmed, the following actions will be at the top of my to-do list. 1. Maintain an up-to-date official website of the Armed Forces of Liberia that serves as a central hub for disseminating relevant information. 2. Work with the leadership to create and enhance the ministry's Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube handles to allow direct communication with the public. Collaborate with responsible officials of the ministry to send out press releases and organize media engagement. Organize town hall meetings, public forums, and community outreach programs that will enable direct interaction with citizens, providing an opportunity to address public concerns, gather feedbacks, and build trust within the community. Distinguished Chair and reverend members of this committee, I am fully aware of your rightful interest in the issue of nominees' credentials or capacity to perform during these hearings. So, let me hasten to mention that personally, I feel that my qualification solely does not justify this nomination, as it is a privilege and not a right to be nominated by His Excellency the President. In fact, I acknowledge that I am not the only qualified Liberian for this nomination. So again, let me thank the President for bestowing upon me such an honor out of the over 5 million Liberians. For purposes of this confirmation, I hold a Bachelor of Arts degree in Sociology and Demography and a Master of Arts degree in International Relations, both from the University of Liberia. I'm also preparing to do my thesis for a second Master's in Peace and Conflict Studies from the University of Liberia. I am a trained and renowned journalist with over 13 years of service with impeccable track record and thought leadership within the media landscape of our country. In spite of these, I remain humble and open to personal and professional development. In conclusion, Honorable Chair and esteemed members of this committee, I seek your confirmation not for personal gain, but to serve our nation with dedication, integrity, and a commitment to excellence. I thank you for your time and consideration and look forward to the opportunity to serve our great nation, Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant Minister-Designate for the Ministry of National Defense, for your introduction and your presentation for the Ministry of Defense as an Assistant Minister for Public Service, or Assistant Minister for Public Affairs, if confirmed. We will now go to the Commissioner of Immigration for his presentation. Because of your portfolio, we'll give you 10 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honorable Chair of the Senate Committee on Defense, Intelligence, Security, and Veteran Affairs, distinguished senators present here, members of the Fourth Estate, our dear family here, my darling wife, the Liberia Immigration family, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great humility, gratitude, and a profound sense of duty that we appear before this august body in pursuit of confirmation as the Commissioner General of the Liberia Immigration Service, following our nomination by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia. We are fully aware of the significance of this nomination, not just as a position of trust, but a solemn obligation to lead a critical institution at the front lines of our national security and development. The Liberia Immigration Service plays an incredible role in ensuring that our borders are secure, our laws are respected, and our country remains a place of lawful migration and cooperation within the sub-region. Having served this institution in various capacities, we are deeply aware of the critical role the LIS plays in safeguarding our national sovereignty, protecting laws, migration, and ensuring that our borders remain secure, yet welcoming legal travel and migration. Let us firstly thank the Almighty God, the God from whom all blessings flow, for making this day possible. Also, we'd like to thank His Excellency, President Mulbah, for our preferment. We also would like to thank our family for all of the support over the years, the Liberia Immigration Service family, especially so the many commissioners whose mentorship has brought me thus far. Our vision. If confirmed, we will dedicate ourselves to the realization of clear and forward-looking vision to transform the Liberia Immigration Service into a modern, transparent, professional, and intelligence-led institution that effectively manages migration, safeguard national borders, and contribute to national development by ensuring revenue generation, capacity, and regional integration. This vision reflects our commitment to reform, modernization, and inclusive leadership. Our overwhelming goal as Commissioner General will be to build a resilient and efficient migration system that upholds national security, support economic growth, and align with international best practice. This goal recognizes immigration not only as a security entity, but also as an engine for development, investment, and international diplomacy. Upon confirmation, we intend to immediately focus on the following key areas: border security modernization through smart border solution. In December of 2024, the LIS entered a non-binding memorandum of understanding with a Thailand-based company called Mulbah at the development and efficient implementation of border modernization through smart border solution for the Republic of Liberia under a zero investment model. Under this project, we will introduce surveillance technologies such as CCTV, biometric system, etc. as strategic border points. This will be complemented by stronger cooperation with all security entities, including the Armed Forces of Liberia, the National Security Agency, Liberia National Police, and all security actors in the country. We will also prioritize the construction of residential quarters for assigned officers. The construction of residential quarters for LIS assigned officers across the country is urgently imperative. To facilitate the implementation of this project, we have written various superintendents, including the Land Authority, about the significance of this project and requesting land space thereof, many of whom have responded positively. Additionally, we have begun gathering and collecting intelligence on the influx of Burkinabés and other undocumented aliens in several affected counties to include Bond, Nimba, Grandville, River G, and Maryland counties. We will work closely with the authorities of these counties as well as relevant government entities for their cooperation support in the LIS draft to document all these migrants and to adequately advise the government the way forward. We have prioritized the recruitment, professional training, and career development of LIS professionals or personnel. A modern immigration service must be built on the foundation of discipline, ethics, and continuous learning. We will work towards the refurbishing and revamping of the Liberia Immigration Service Training Academy in Foya Lofa County to standardize our human resource development. We will develop a comprehensive reform of legal migration and documentation processes consistent with international best practice. We will adequately engage with ECOWAS, IOM, Interpol, and other regional actors for technical support, information sharing, and joint initiatives that align with global migration trends. As we embark on this reform journey, we recognize the immediate and long-term challenges confronting the Liberia Immigration Service. Therefore, we propose the following practical solutions. We will improve the anti-human trafficking section in order to fight trafficking, which is a menace affecting our society. We will seek legislative support and donor engagement to rehabilitate and construct modern border facilities. Additionally, we will explore public-private partnership to supplement or complement government funding, especially in our border modernization efforts and structural reform. We will also develop a citizen build, complaint, and feedback mechanism introduced to improve accountability. Simultaneously, we will embark on a nationwide awareness campaign to educate the public on what immigration is about. Honorable Senators, we do not take this responsibility lightly that comes with this job. Should this honorable body see it fit to confirm our nomination, which we strongly believe it will, we pledge to lead with dignity, foresight, and an unshakable commitment to reform, we will work tirelessly to ensure that the Liberia Immigration Service become an institution of national pride, trusted by the public and respected by our partners. Together with your support, we can strengthen our border, protect our people, and promote legal migration that counts for the benefit of the nation. We thank you for the opportunity to serve, and we respectfully ask for your kind approval of our confirmation. God bless Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner-Designate, for your presentation. While you were in speech, two of our distinct colleagues entered, and we would love to use this opportunity to have them introduce themselves, starting with our friend, Rabbi Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nominee, my name is J. Global Brown. I come from Maryland. I represent them in the Senate. I'm not a member of this committee, but because of the nature of my county, I'm interested in this hearing.
Councilor Jala.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Joseph Kolako Bato Jala, Senior Senator of Mulbah County. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Jala. Thank you so much. So at this point in time, considering time, we will now take questions and answers from the senators to the nominees. And now, like I indicated initially, we don't have time, so when there is a question placed to you, answer is straight to the point. It's not about going on, which we don't want a long explanation. We don't have much time there. Answer the question as it's being posted, just in time. Thank you. So at this time, senators, you have the opportunity to ask the nominees in any order, whether it's Assistant Minister for Defense or the Commissioner-Designate.
Go first.
Let's go. Let's give the U.S. Senator the opportunity.
Okay.
In the corner, they go to your nothing.
Yeah, so the Commissioner of Immigration Destiny, I would like to know, I believe you are acting, right?
Yes.
And then subsequently nominated. Now, the issue of issuing of resident permit, we observe that this contract has been given to foreigner. And a security institution giving your right to foreigner, I think it has some security concern. What mechanism are you putting into play, or you intend to put into place with a time bound? Because most of your saying here, you only say we will. You don't give a definite time to say within 30 days, within 50 days, within 1 year, we would go this step. And that will give us an informed position as an oversight institution to verify those information provided to us. So what mechanism are you putting into place? Because this is also depriving the Liberians from job creation and also exposing our country to national security threats. So what can you say about that? Two, the issue of after, I get to know about after. After is in 214 in African Parliament. They talk about free movement of persons and also talk about free movement of goods. So in terms of free movement of people in Africa, where and how far have you gone with the process along with the international body? Because we realize that in other countries like Europe, there is no time to say it's 6 o'clock, border closed. 24/7, the borders are open. So whether you are working along with the international body as immigration to see how best Liberia can be part and fully partaking in the process. Now, to the Assistant Minister-Designate for Foreign Affairs, how can you correlate between media practitioner in terms of reportage as a journalist, and that of serving in a capacity, most especially at the security level, to serve as an assistant minister for public affairs. Can you correlate that? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Senator, for those brilliant questions. So, Assistant Minister, you want to take a shot first.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair, and thanks to the Honorable Senator for the question. It is very simple. The correlation there is that as a media practitioner, you are going as the Assistant Minister for Public Affairs. That is, you're going to interact with the public and the media. So my primary role is to manage the communication and public image of the ministry. I'm just going to be communicating the activities and decisions of the ministry to the media. And I think that requires effective communication, a skill that I have. Thank you.
Mr. Commissioner, just two questions were asked. One is the issue of resident permit, foreign, and another question is about the free movement of people considering international standards.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Prior to our appointment as Deputy Commissioner and subsequently Commissioner-Designate, the issue of the permit of residence was resourced out to a company called Counter Global. That was done in 2021, November, the contract was signed. So we met this on the table, and over the months that we have served, we have been working with the Honorable Senate Committee Chair on Defense, Intelligence, Veteran Affairs and Security on this matter. And our engagement will continue to ensure that this contract returns to the Liberia Immigration Services. Thank you. The second aspect of the free movement of people. Yes, we do have international protocols. Let me speak specifically to the airport protocol on the free movement of people and goods. The reasons our borders are closed at night, our borders are not illuminated as they're supposed to be. We do not have the level of security gadget that will be able to monitor every movement of goods and persons. So these are some of the reasons. But with your support, we can work on these things and make sure that we come on par with the international community. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Shogbe?
Yes, sir. So let me say congratulations to the Minister, the Assistant Minister. Yeah. My concern goes to the Commissioner-Designate. With your many years of service in the LIS, I believe that's no mistake that the President has decided to nominate you to this position. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Now, there are an influx of people coming over our borders, especially the Burkinabes, that are now present in my country, Liberia, and probably all parts of the southeastern region, and other parts of Liberia. They are in their drones. Understandably, we know that our borders are porous, but you have a responsibility to mend them. That responsibility falls on you. What is it that we should do, can we do to mitigate the situation or to try to eradicate it in your capacity when confirmed as the commander? I will further add that there was a conflict quite recently that led to the demise of 4 of my citizens. It is alleged that some of these Burkinabes participated on the side of those people who are supporting them to show their loyalty. This has a potential to denigrate itself into serious physical violence in the future moving forward. Chief, when you are confirmed, should you be confirmed, how do you intend to tackle these problems? Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Commissioner, you can go ahead with the question, to answer the question.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. In my presentation, I spoke briefly about the issue of the Burkina Bee. And the issue of the Burkina Bee goes back to some 10 years. We have come to ask that you confront us. And if you do, we can promise you we're going to work with you, Honorable Senators, to find an amicable solution for the security of our borders and our country. The Burkina Bees, as per our records, are now in 5 major counties: Bon County, Nimba, River G, Grand Julian, Maryland. What we have done in recent time, we have dispatched additional men. For now, what we have undertaken is first to document them. We are aware that they have settled in colony. They are in their thousands. We are going to document them.
Go ahead, sir.
We are going to document them, where they are, how they came in the country, for what purpose. And after all of our research work, we will communicate with you with a proposal of what we can do as a nation to mitigate this problem. It is a national security concern.
Follow-up question? Go ahead.
You done?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm afraid that if we don't add a time limit, a cutoff point to this situation, you will find some of us politicians trying to seek the support of these people because we will want them to vote for us tomorrow. And I'm telling you this because it frightens me to see other people coming to our country to want to make decisions for who's supposed to lead us when they are not amongst us. This is a concern that bothers me. As a matter of fact, it vexes me that we have not done something to this point. Documentation is good. We should try to legalize their status so we know that they are here, they are our brothers, our neighbors, but they are not here illegally. And let them not interfere with our political processes. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to make a just 1 minute comment to that? You want to respond to that and give an assurance?
Yes, Honorable Senator. I can assure you, like I said, I have a team already in the 5 counties. And in the next, let me add timeline, in the next 60 days, you will be hearing from us. We will be bringing to you our own proposal. Market you. What can we do to mitigate this situation? We can assure you.
Okay, sir.
Follow-up, please. Okay, so Senator Robert Brown wants to make a follow-up on this question, on this issue, right? Just on this issue.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'm making this follow-up because it was one of the issues I want to address because from Nimba, Grand Julian, River G, now Maryland is not far off. Mr. Nominee, how long have you been in the service?
20 years.
And you said this problem dates back as far as 10 years ago.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been acting as LRS boss?
6 months.
6 months.
Yes, sir.
And now you want this body to confirm you before you come back to us with a proposal how to deal with this problem that has been going on for the past 10 years? Why don't you have a plan by now? You're willing for confirmation before you do that?
Well, Honorable Senator, I did not have the power to do what I'm asking
You have been acting as LRS boss.
6 months.
Yes, 6 months. Prior to that, what was your position?
I was Deputy Commissioner for Administration.
Deputy Commissioner
for 9 months, yes.
For 9 months. But meaning you have been in the service and you've been hearing about this problem, as you said, 10 years. And still you come into this body with no plan. It's an issue, security risks of thousands of people who are flooding our borders, entering, and you come into us, you need our vote to confirm you as immigration boss, and you don't have a plan. to deal with it? You only want to wait for our confirmation? What assurance that will confirm you about a plan in the first place?
Honorable Senator, this is the first point I have spoken of. We have put a team together that is in the southeastern region now, working on the issue. But it is not going to be a day or two issue.
All right, I just want to make that follow up on my time will come out now.
Okay, so at this point, I know somebody wants to follow up, but I will give the opportunity to Senator Dillon. Okay.
To the next nominee. If a professional swimmer sat at the wayside of the river and the professional player got drowned, can you be honored as a professional swimmer? Now, the concern is that I agree that you haven't been confronted as a proper director or commissioner, but you've been working with the institution. Interestingly, as assisting or deputy for administration, it means when it comes to assignment of people in various localities, it is your responsibility. You're telling us at this time that no mechanism have been put into place. Even the Senate committee, have been ever rating the Senate committee about the unfolding circumstances and the voters giving us how many number of people, influx of people that illegally enter the country? Have you ever done that? To at least show a signal that you are working. Or have any of you or your agent been attacked by those who coming in by force because they are not coming legally? Perhaps they evade the process. Have you ever notified the requisite authorities like the Senate Committee on Security about such before?
Thank you, Honorable Senator. So our engagement on this process is not only today. Since we took over, especially as Commissioner-Designate, we have already started working on plans. We have some documents here in our possession, but we have to reduce it into a holistic document that we submit to you. This is a national issue. It now goes beyond the Liberia Immigration Service alone. You will find out that the Burkinabes are as well involved in the agriculture sector, the mining sector, within the forest, and killing our endangered species. So we are engaged with some of these relevant agencies. Yes, on some of these issues, we have communicated them with our direct bossman, the Minister of Justice. And that is how he gave us the authority and the backing to go ahead. And we are being able to source some funding to begin the process.
Can you show, Senator, can you show any of the copies of your communication?
According to your explanation in chief, you have written the requisite authority, reporting the circumstances unfolding and their authorization. And reports, by definition, is consciously transmitting account of an event to authorized person. According to you, you wrote your boss when they are giving you approval. Do you have copy to exhibit before this over body?
So like other requisite authorities we are talking about, we've written the EPA, the Minister of Internal Affairs, as well as the Foreign Ministry on this matter because it borders also just beyond Liberia as a country. So yes, we do have copies of those communications that we can make available. We have also written the Superintendent of the 5 counties, the legislative caucuses of the 5 counties, as well as the county attorney. Those letters were written and we have copies of what we have not taken.
Thank you for the question. For the question. Now we now take Senator Dillon to ask his question kindly.
It's not a vote, it's vote who's you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nominee for Immigration. How many legal resident immigrants resident in Liberia as we speak? Question.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Reference to that question, please permit me to submit that to you as early as tomorrow. I can assure you.
That means you have it.
I do.
How many legal resident immigrants do you have in Liberia now?
I don't have it here on me verbatim, but
No.
I can provide you.
So you have it, but you don't know the number.
Not that I do not know, Honorable Senator.
How many legal immigrant residents in Liberia as we speak?
I do not have the statistics on me where I am, Honorable Senator. I don't need to lie to this body. I have taken oath for that.
Mr. Nominee, that's a manners. I want you to know that. What qualifies an immigrant for a resident permit? Question.
Well, under our alien and nationality law, you must enter Liberia legally, meaning you travel with legal travel document, either a passport or within the airport business, you could come with lessee passes that is approved by your country. When you come, we must ensure that you are not somebody who has a criminal background. If you are desirous of staying in Liberia, then you can make an application to the Immigration Service, which is subject to review and approval.
How many resident permit is out in issue, authorized by the LRS to date? Question.
And it just brought me back to the first question, how many legal residents? Because on a daily basis, applications are being made. If I say 15,000 today, tomorrow and come, say 16,100, I will be
I ask a question as we speak. That means you will know how many resident permits you have issued before coming for this hearing. And then you will say, as we speak, this is here now. So you don't know as the immigration boss, active for 6 months, being there for 9 months as deputy for administration. As we speak, you don't know how many resident permits you have issued. Should I consider it as such?
Sir? So again, Honorable Senator, I maintain that I will not give you specific figures because I do not want to be a liar to this August bar.
I think that as another negative. What role is the immigration institutionally playing when it comes to drug trafficking, drug importation, and what have you, drug-related crimes through our borders? What role is the immigration playing to mitigate this? Question.
Aaron, the statutory responsibility of fighting drugs in the country is delegated to the Drug Enforcement Agency. Notwithstanding, all of us as state security actors, we do work together and collaborate. There are other areas where you find the Liberia Immigration Service personnel and you don't find DA personnel. If we do interdict them, we'll let the DA know we turn over the case to them. Yes, we are on the lookout for just anything that is harmful entering the Republic of Liberia.
What's the statistics that you have of illegal drug entering Liberia by sea, by land, by air, that are being busted in coordination with and by the Immigration Service, formerly of question?
Well, in most recent time, what I can speak to like 8 issues, ranging from Lufa and to other counties, Nima, Bowarasa, and other areas about drugs or manus. On issue of drugs, disinformation.
Have you briefed this committee?
Well, Chief, usually
Have you briefed this committee?
on those issues, no. I usually pass my report through the Minister of Justice.
Do you know that you must brief the Committee on Defense, Security and Intelligence on security-related matters?
There are multiple issues that I do brief the head of the committee, but I do not take it to you as a whole body.
So you brief the committee chair?
Yes, I
We'll
do.
take it
I
then.
do talk to you.
We'll take it then that you brief the committee through the
I
chair.
do talk to the chief.
Mr. Nominee, do you have logistical concerns issues?
Yes, we do have logistical concern issues. All over the country, we have less than 15 functioning vehicles, both at headquarters and in the field, as well as motorcycles. There are other places that are hard to reach areas.
So your logistical concern are vehicles,
Communication gadget,
when is your project policy proposal for us to look at? What is informing your knowledge of lack of logistics?
Honorable Senator, these are documents that I will be presenting to you.
So everything that you were, we coming for confirmation here, you've been acting for 6 months. You were informed well ahead of time that you will be you will face confirmation here today. Did you bring anything scripted that this committee can have on record so we can put it on file? Should we confirm you to start to hold you back? Or you really want to? You laughing?
Well,
you know we'll get joking too, but I don't want your time for this serious thing, you can take it for a joke. I don't do that. When you leave from here and you are not performing out there, the first thing the public will say, the lawmakers are not supporting these institutions. I'm asking you, why do you have logistical constraints? And what inform your knowledge of that logistical constraints? And you're laughing.
Honorable Senator, these are documents that we have crafted. I did not come here with them.
So then we just came to talk. So now
I
this
did not know
is
specifically what you needed for me to bring here.
so you coming, what's your vision for this?
I have just outlined it in my
So what's the
statement.
copy?
I have to go.
Where's the copy of your vision? So you've been acting as commissioner for 6 months. That means throughout this budget year, 2025 budget year, you have been in charge of the immigration, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's the budget of the immigration for 2025? Question.
Our budget is about 9 million,
About 9 million.
including overhead costs. and all other.
What's there for logistics?
For this year, there is nothing for logistics.
Who determines what should be for logistics? You asked for 9 million.
We asked for 12.
The budget that the executive sent us, the executive on which you fall, asked us to give you 9 million. Last year, it was 6 million. This year, the executive in the draft budget asked us to give you 9 million, meaning institutional immigration. And we gave immigration 9 million in keeping with the executive's request through the budget.
Yes, almost.
All the 9 million, what is there for logistics?
Honorable Senator, let us also note that the budget was increased to 9 million because during the course of last year, the Liberia Immigration Services was able to carry out additional training to increase our manpower, additional personnel of 500 something. So all of these people are captured under there.
So you asked through the executive for 9 million for 2025.
Right.
I know the question I'm asking.
Yes.
The draft budget that came here to us is from you through the executive because you fall under the executive. In the wisdom of the executive, immigration should get 9 million. In our wisdom as a legislature, the executive knew what it wanted to achieve, so we gave the 9 million. All of that 9 million, what is there for logistics?
All of the 9 million, we did some shifting to be able to procure at least 15 motorcycles. Because we have a lot of work to do, and we are just emphasizing on the 9 million, but the overhead alone is up to 6.
Yeah, 9 million compensation of employees, everybody is 6 million. 6.5 million.
And that includes renting,
Goods,
vehicle maintenance, goods and services,
to move our vehicles 2.3
to
million.
the borderline.
Goods and services, 2.3 million. That also includes logistics, operation. So yeah, what you did in your budget, yeah, what you proposed in your budget. Other compensation, 800,000. Special operation services, 300,000. Intelligence services, 768,000. Then uniform and special last cloth, 0. So you prioritize, I can understand the security, intelligence thing, but uniform and logistics, 0.
Honorable Senator, with this shifting, yes, we are currently doing the bidding to acquire some uniform. With this shifting, it did not stay just as it is.
So that plan you have for logistics to equip the immigration, like the fire service budget has never passed $2-3 million for years. Until 2024, this legislature under this government, we deliberately increased fire service budget from $2 million to $4 million plus. We deliberately stated that $2 million was to help to begin the equipment. The equipping of fire service, including manpower training, purchasing of firefighter equipment, and all of that. So that this next year, we can see their performance and decide how to upgrade and update what they have there. That's why I'm asking you. If you want 30 vehicles, how many do you have this year? So that you can inform us to know how many to put there for next year. Because every year is a logistical issue. Every year is a logistical issue, as if to say nothing in the budget for you. That's my point I'm making. And you've been in the immigration how many years?
20 years.
20 years.
Yes, sir.
Our ranking level, how many years?
I was special assistant for 14 years.
Good. And now acting deputy for administration.
9 months.
9 months. Where all the logistical issues and administration is wrong. Then you've been acting as immigration commissioner for 6 months. And you come before me to make you immigration commissioner proper. And you say, oh, I'll confirm you then before you bring your vision paper and so I can know what you seek to do and achieve and how. You want me to buy pig in the bag?
Honorable Senator, as I indicated, I did not catalog it exactly as you may want it, but you will find it in my statement at the level. The statement is here, I will leave you with a copy.
Mr. Chairman, just 2 more concerns. Travelers in and out of Liberia, leaving or coming through our legal border entry points. RRA straight feed through the border, through the free port. Do you have a manifest to know who leaves the country and who comes in the country? Question.
Yes, we do. Yes.
So before somebody enters the country, once they have purchased a ticket and boarded to Liberia, The immigration is aware.
We are aware. Honorable Senator, except you use unmanned border or illegal border posts.
My question was very clear. I said the legal
Yes.
border area. I know it's possible for people to slip through illegal points. I was talking about the reason I'm asking this question is because from the Foreign Affairs Committee, we are engaged with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, engaged with the U.S. government, a concern expressed that we are not sharing information of travelers with them, which has to do with global security issue, to know which member of a terrorist group is coming to Liberia or leaving Liberia. Do you have those information?
We do.
Do you share that information with the foreign minister or through the dump?
Some of these information I only share on the basis when it is needed and requested from.
Do you share this information with the foreign minister so that it can liaise with the U.S. government and other foreign institutions?
If the foreign ministry so desire, we can do that. We can.
Okay. So you have residents, the number of legal residents in Liberia to submit to this committee.
Yes, sir.
We'll be waiting. Lastly, my colleagues are concerned, and I'm sure Senator Thomas Nimian, whose county is most affected by this issue about Burkina Faso. I'm sure you might have better insight about it.
I'm standing by, Senator.
Thank you. So, Mr. Nominee, they say we should confirm you, then you go deal with the issue of Burkina being granted.
We are already on the ground, sir. My team had a meeting with the Secretary in the Senate. We'll be meeting.
Because you knew you were coming here today.
No, the process has started some time ago. And I have gotten the first report from there a month back. I have it here. I will share with you.
How many Burkina Faso estimated to be in Grand Jida County?
I do not have statistical data as they are entering through porous border and unmanned border. That is why we are there.
Any of them are legally?
A few of them are there legally who have applied for permit of residence, but the majority of them are using porous borders. And for the last
so I mean, once they enter the country now, we have control over them.
They enter the country, most of them are in the thick forest. And we can't just endanger the men and say move on them.
Okay, I will leave that on the microphone saying it's sensitive security. Mr. Chairman, I will leave for now.
Thank you, Mr. Senator, for those questions. Now we want to recognize the presence of one of our senators who just came in from Rufus. Mr. Senator, kindly introduce yourself.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Bill Twelway. I'm representing the interest of the people of Rufus County.
Thank you, Senator, for the introduction. So now we take Senator Daba. Other concerns coming up. Take Senator Daba to ask a question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. One question I expected, Senator did not go eyes. He didn't eyes, but it is very important, but it is the security sector, and the president relies on the sector to fight the issue of drug. Have you taken your drug test?
Yes, I have taken my drug test. As a matter of fact, in July, when we were recruiting, I was the first person that took the drug test.
You brought a certificate?
Yes.
You brought it with you?
No, I didn't come with it, but I did my drug test.
Please provide a new to the chairman.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
will.
And Mr. The question for two of you.
No, Madam Senator, I haven't.
You been watching my intake, daughter? We took a you did that.
I don't take those things.
Yeah, you didn't take your fire after declaration.
You haven't done your drug test.
No, Madam Senator, I can assure you that I will do that.
So what were you waiting for?
So as a chairperson, we will not continue your hearing unless your process of the drug test is being submitted to our office.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next question, which is also generic, is the issue of asset declaration. Have you declared your assets?
In my position as Deputy Commissioner General, I did declare my asset. Of recent, I received a call from the LACC and they told me that if I'm confirmed, I should redeclare my asset. Yes, I declare my asset.
Thank you. And Mr. Hall?
Yes, Senator, I have, and I share a copy with each of the senators. I declare my assets.
Thank you. And this question is for the Assistant Minister-Designate. I listened to your presentation, and you say you are a trained journalist. But I was going through your CV, I don't see where you actually declared in your CV where you did your training, journalistic training. But I know that you have been a talk show host and the rest of it. One thing that is very important in our state here, not just being a journalist qualifies one to report on security, to report on health, to report on the economy. You have to have had some other training or some other ability or capacity to report for. You are going to be in the security sector now. You are not going to be doing talk shows or covering the Senate. That's a separate sector that has protocols and other means of communicating information coming out of it. Have you had any security training or some experience working with the sector?
Thank you, Madam Senator. I haven't had any security training, but I can say to you that I've been with the Armed Forces of Liberia for over 10 years. I've had some experiences. I've been familiarized with the terrain and the jargons.
When you say you've been with them, what does that mean? How? In which capacity?
I've been with them as a reporter covering the Armed Forces of Liberia and the Ministry of National Defense. And last year, I also served as the media consultant for the Armed Forces.
Thank you.
But you need to scroll out the almost right here.
You will understand.
You didn't even put it here. Is that covert? Okay, thank you. So let's go to the immigration chief. Looking at your resume, you have been with the immigration for like 20 years. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I see that you grew through the ladder to where you are.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are very open with the operation of that department, of that institution, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So over those years, if I may ask you to point out 2 things that you think has not worked correctly, and then you come and tell me how you intend to correct those 2 things, just 2, not more than 2.
Oh, thank you. The first thing I will speak to is residential quarter for our officers in the B1 counties that we have never addressed. When our officers are in the field, they have to pay their rentage from their legal resources, supporting themselves as well as their family back to Morovia and other places. And in my mind, it is of grave concern that when we assign them, we assign them with some dignity. You have a shelter or a place you can even move your family. Second thing is our own borders, the way they are structured. At night, we don't even have good illumination. So that is one reason why our borders are always closed evening hours instead of allowing the movement of goods and services. So we can improve on our border plaza. It will be a good thing for us at the Liberia Immigration Services.
Thank you. So I listened to you as part of your plan, if confirmed, to provide residential for your field officers, which is a very good plan. But usually, people come and present to make us happy. without actually implementing those things that they promised to do. But I trust the chairman in the committee, you will be followed for every commitment you make here. So your plan, does your plan corroborate with the budget? Have you considered the budget implication? Because to give you the land, the counties with their experience, where some county, my own Cape Town, has given some of the institutions of government land to develop till today those lands are there or they go back to the community. So to get the land should not be the focus. The budget to ensure that these residences are available for the officers.
Honorable Senator, we will take this proposal to you and ask for your support to help us find the resources. And in our presentation, we said we will also seek for public-private partnership. We will ask other institutions and international bodies to assist in this process, but it is at the core of our heart.
You mentioned about recruitment of officers, which I think is something very key because I mentioned earlier that I'm from Cape Town, where we have over 2,000 borders that are handled by immigration officers. So that's a very good news. But again, you said you plan to establish the training center in Foya, Nova County. Is there any information, any reason for which you selected Lofa instead of Cape Town or somewhere centrally located where the entire 15 countries can access easily?
Honorable Senator, the facility already exists in Lofa. During the presidency of Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the facility was constructed. It has not been utilized until when we did the recruitment sometime last year and we used it for the academy. It just required upgrading. The facility is there, 15 acres.
I will also join Senator Dillon to ask you please provide the statistics that we requested and those things that you promised to provide to the community. That will inform our decision to have you confront, and that will also help the committee to follow up. Because our work is to do oversight. We cannot do oversight effectively in the dark. We have to be informed as to what the goals are with timelines for achievement to be able to follow up and hold you accountable. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and you.
Thank you so much, Senator Tala, for those questions. I'll now take Councilor Jara to ask his questions. Councilor Senator Jara, Senior Senator of Lower County.
Thank you for that, Chair. Okay, let me thank you, Mr. Nominee, for your preferment and congratulate you for being selected for this very peculiar office, which they call Deputy Attorney General Office for Immigration. When I hear immigration, I think about Sumo Jones, Tuan and all these strong guys. Yes. So, immigration issue is about citizenship issue. So let me start with that. Are you a Liberian?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Explain.
I am a Liberian. I hail from Rufus County, specifically Vontimont District, from the town of Dogoma.
I'll leave it there. I'll go to the next question. I was concerned about your hanging explanation about the resident permit issue, but I didn't want to, intrude with follow-up. You said that the issue of resident permit has been contracted to someone. Is that a hands-off attitude by your administration, or what is the role of the parties, the immigration? Because contract defines party responsibility. What is the responsibility of the Bureau of Immigration when it comes to dealing with that particular contract on resident permit?
So like I indicated earlier, Honorable Senator, this contract was sold out in 2021. And in the contract, the service provider, when it comes to resources, gets 40%, government gets 60%. But this was done in 2021 as I indicated. Under the contract, where the data center is where the resident permits are being processed, the Liberia Immigration Services personnel are there to enroll the people, print out the card, and ensure that they are issued to those who apply for them after the revision of their application by the Immigration Service.
So in effect, you are doing the resident permit, and you take responsibility for the issue. It's not because it's contracted to somebody. Am I correct?
For us, the very information that are submitted, traveler bound database, people who are here as legal resident bound database or bound data pages, in our mind, it shouldn't be visible to non-Liberians because we do not know all what the intentions are. That is why they have access to it, we have access to it. And for us, we think it should be a whole immigration affair. And I'm working with Honorable Senator Mulbah on that matter. He's here, sir.
I don't want you to introduce scare tactics about this contract. You have a full responsibility. You have agent assigned, and you have on the contract. Don't you have access to the data processing machine? Don't you have access on the contract?
We are processing the aggregate, but the cloud or where the data are kept. Immigration.
It's in the cloud.
Yeah, but immigration.
It's not in the house.
Yeah, immigration should have access to that area. And again, it will surprise you when I'm making reference to the Honorable Senator Mulbah. We have been engaged on this matter since our Deputy Commissioner for Administration.
Okay, I would just say that the data center, whatever it is in the cloud. It's not in anybody's house. But let me go to another question. You have a Department of Protective and Internal Security.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the role of the PISD department when it comes to regulating aliens?
So the PISD is the security arm of the Liberia Immigration Service that does most of the enforcement. They are the ones that we send in the field to check on businesses and to check on resident cards or whoever will be resident is to ensure that yes, the person is here legally or the person have not obtained their permit and they are in violation of our law. And also investigate anything that has to do with the Liberia Immigration Service that have maybe a criminal nature, the immigration personnel.
So are they extending that to the Burkina Faso?
Yes, as I said, Honorable Senator, we have started already an engagement in the 5 counties. Yes, we are there as Liberia Immigration Service. PISD is there as well.
The Burkina Faso issue with talking casually is a serious matter. We have been informed that you have between 30 to 60,000 Burkina Faso in the southeast. They might be coming up to the southwest, if not northwest. And if we don't do something about it, we're not saying we're going to chase them. You can remember when I was immigration, one Saturday, I was in my car driving, and I saw the immigration officer started tussling with an alien. Let's go to the office on Saturday. Who to the office? Let's go to the office. Let's go. So somebody said, Chief, every officer there for doing one alien. So I stopped. I called him both of them. He said, that man came in the country, now get more people. So I asked him, man, when he came in the country, he showed the time. Where did you pass? The man passed through Ghana, from Ghana to Ghana, come all the way to Monrovia. Then he touched me with him. So I get to a car from a party, I go to the man and say, anytime you have a chance, back to the office and face your paper. So, whether things have improved in terms of dealing with aliens is important to all of us because we all travel. But if you have 30 to 60,000 will not be saturated. You need to screen there to see who are mere farmers, who are former combatants, and someone could be adventurers. With the little resources you may have, we want you to prepare a special report on that in the next 90 days. You know, and see how we're going to deal with that, because the European Union has expressed concern about this. The representation of Bill Brown and myself are one point. So we are appealing to you, even if you don't have gas to go to work, let people do something about the Burkinabe issue. Let everybody see that something is being done in a way that we know what we're doing in this country. We're not chasing aliens, but we're making sure they're here orderly. Those who are not supposed to be here, go ask Donald Trump to give you the recipe. My next question, Mr. Minister of Defense. Okay, Mr. Minister. Like you, like me, we grew up in the barracks. We went to school there. We didn't join the army, but we know almost many things about how the army culture is. Now, the Public Relations Department of AFL, I don't know what's the perspective. Do you sometimes review the work of people like Tommy Rings? I don't even call that sorry. So, I would urge you to be a journalist. I know you didn't go for BWI to know regular army training, but it's good to sometimes tell us people like Tommy Rings that were in both a soldier and a journalist. And he was very bright in this area of the army. When Armed Forces Day comes, when you sit on by your radio, you don't want to, you are glued to it when Tommy is on the radio. You know. Oh my God. So basically, I wish you well at the Defense Ministry, but it's not a place to just, you know, go to. But I want you to be an exemplary journalist there, making people to like the army. When you take the microphone, when you take the paper pen to write about the army, then they see some quality and difference. You know, because you see that sheltering barrier, you see the BTC. Our inner barrier was burning. I was across the bridge coming. I said, "Oh, our house burning." But we're gonna look at the fire. They get to our area. So let's do the best we can to make the army look different. Today they're making maybe $200, $300, $400, but when I was there they were making $23.
How many making now?
Plenty of money.
No, call it, I mean,
And now on Scrutiny. So let me wish you well, but please, let me wish you well, but please know that somehow we are de facto soldiers.
I'm missing how you're staying there.
So do the best you can. I got passion for the army. I want you to demonstrate that in your eloquence. I want you to, by your eloquence and reporting and writing about the army, I will be very much happy. I will admire you if you do something to make up for Tommy Ray. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Senator Jada, Senior Senator of Rufus County. At this point in time, we will take the opportunity to have one of our colleagues who just walked in while questions were going on. He's from Rivers. My dear brother, Senator Chief Smith, can introduce yourself to the nominees.
Thank you very much, Chairman. My name is Wellington Chief Smith. I represent the people of Rivers. And I came to observe the confirmation hearing because The Defense, Security, and Intelligence Committee of the Senate is one of the statutory committees where you have each of the county represented. And Senator Bill Twawe is the representative of the on this committee of Justin, because I have serious concern with what Senator Jala was talking about with the Bukini issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we will take Senator Yaya Dingler for granted to ask this question to the nominees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, for clarification, to my dear the nominee for immigration, I'm the chair on the Grand Jury Caucus. I have never received any document from you as to the work that you are now describing within your office that has to do with security and immigration as well as the Burkina. And if you ask your immigration in Grand Jury, they will tell you that I have met with them. This is one of the 6 meetings that I'm having for the past 1 year, couple of months that I've been in this chamber. You, the immigration, you are embarrassing this country. I want to make it very, very clear. The issue that has to do with Burkina Faso started 20 years ago when President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took power. Burkina Faso took 3,000 hectares of land from Grand Jury County. And the AFL left and went there and left them there. Today the people are harvesting cocoa. They have taken that piece of land from Liberia. It has now become Cote d'Ivoire. Senator Marshall Dennis in this chamber pushed that issue. They said immigration went there, they collected money and they walked away. I'm not saying alleged because I'm here to prove. And from that time, Burkina Faso started entering this country. Didn't you receive information recently that some of your people were issuing bogus resident permit and they gave it to the people that said temporary resident permit? I'm sure you got that information. Did you?
Yes, Honorable Senator.
Thank you. They are taking $20 a piece from 6,000 people, which is equivalent to a foreign money called Jimmy Fund. And they are issuing documents to the people. Temporary resident permit. And then you got to go send additional 6% there. You just bury the water. If the people are already corrupt, they need to be removed. And then you send a new group. But if you have people there that I have been meeting with, I have been meeting for the past 1 month in my Easter break. There is no town in Grand Jury that I did not visit to talk about Burkina Faso immigration, as well as the communities that brought Burkina Faso into Grand Jury County. You have not given any information from 20 years up to present. And then you say you want to transform. What are you transforming? You're transforming yourself. But you know what? I don't blame you. Because if you unify a person and you train that person to go to the border, you don't pay them $150. So if they pay you $150, then you need to pay yourself to support your family, especially when you live in Monrovia and they send you to Grand Jury County. So it's not your fault, except that there's a lack of commitment from this entire process when it has to do with immigration. I don't see any commitment from any of you. Let me ask you one question. When you do immigration training, is checkpoint the only course to do? That's a question.
No, Honorable Senator.
Thank you. If checkpoint is not the only course, then let's find another course. Let's find another way to identify an Liberian citizen from a foreigner. You got checkpoint in Danta. You got checkpoint when you're arriving at the border between Bon County and Nimba. You got checkpoint in Banga. You got checkpoint in Salala. What are you looking for?
What are you actually looking for? It's a question.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, please.
Again, I will say this, Honorable Senator. The issue of the Burkina Bees, all of us have to treat it as a national security.
That is not a question. The question is, of all these checkpoints you lay down and we're coming to Monrovia, what are you looking for?
Honorable Senator, we will be looking into that matter.
It's been 20 years now, you've been putting checkpoint, and now you want to look into the matter. I want to answer now.
I have only come here for confirmation to the chief to get a matter of authority to.
Thank you, but let me remind you, sir. This is a free country. We left True Party. We left military government. We left oligarchy. For the past 177 years, we left all of those governments. And we killed each other for nothing. And today, from Ghana, we say we want democracy. Free movement of our people. Free movement. You got kids, and people come into the gate, and the only question you have is, what is your name? And then I say, my name is Yaya. They say, get down from the car. And then the next Madigo man comes in, he says, his name is Mohammed. They say, get down from the car. But Yaya is a crime man. And Mohammed is from Cape Mount. And Jalo may be from Lofa as well. And you detain them because they are Jalos and they are Yaya. You have no other security scrutiny analysis to take somebody down from a car, impeding the free movement of your own citizens because you're looking for Jalo. Remember, the three countries that are around us, our citizens are there, and we have been living together for the past 177 years. Go ask one of your men why he brought open door policy. Let your citizens move freely. You gotta get right here and get my bond of bombing. They pulled me down from the car and I refused to say, Thomas Yaya, and I said, my name is Yaya. And he put me down. Because I'm Yaya. And he asked me, are you related to the president of that other country they call Gambia? It's not disgrace. After 21 years of war, our daughters left from here, they married to different people for survival in foreign countries. They came with their children. Our sons came with their children. So a name Mohammed should not be a hindrance to your immigration policy. Guests should come down. Why when you have 3 guests, 4 guests on this one road from Ghana to Monrovia, what are you looking for? You are increasing the prices of our beta power and our cassava leaf. Now, that's just one. Let me ask you another question. You said you just said you don't know the number of Burkina Bees in Rangila County. The people that you have sent there before, what information have they given you in terms of numbers?
The people we send there, they have just arrived in 5 counties.
They have been there 10 years.
Oh, talking about officers that have been
Officers that have been there 10 years, what numbers have they given you?
Well, Honorable Senator, they are speaking like gradually, they are talking about, plus or minus, they are talking about 10,000. That's the report we are receiving.
So if it's about 10,000, did they give you any information? Because they go there all the time. They go there every month to collect Jimmy from. Every month they go there to collect Jimmy from these people. They know where they are located. So why would they come to you and say about?
And Honorable Senator, please take me back my words. I am going to work with your legislative caucus to ensure the proper mechanism are put into place to address this situation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You talk about our border being porous. When did the immigration realize that the border is porous?
Well, that is an old age issue.
Very old age.
Yes.
Before Liberia became Liberia. border importers. So what gives you the energy right now to use border importers as a reason to impede the movement of your own citizens?
Honorable Senators, Senator, we will be looking into these matters, and wherever these issues exist, we will address them adequately.
Mr. Nominee, you have been with immigration for a very long time. And I'm sure you know, from Mulbah County to Grand Jida to Nima County, borders have been porous. If somebody comes from Kisejubu and comes to Mulbah County, and his brother by ma and pa is saying Foya, do you want to send that person back?
Well, let us know, Honorable Senator, that we are divided, I would say, by colonial boundaries.
Exactly.
We have our relatives in Guinea, in Ivory Coast, in Liberia. So coming to your family member, all it requires you, if you are an Ivorian or a Guinean, is just to come with the necessary documents.
Thank you. And if the person does not have a necessary document, what is the policy?
Well, under the law, you should come with a document. If you don't come with a document, you should not be permitted to enter.
You deport them.
Yes, we ask you to leave.
One of the people that you have been arrested at this case, how many people have you deported?
Again, I cannot speak to statistics, yes, sir.
Why? Why we cannot speak to statistics?
I do not have.
You have cases around this country. You have cases all around this country that decides to stop and bring down from the vehicles those who you believe are non-Liberians. When you bring them down, what do you do with them? That I want to know. Let me answer the question. You take money from them and you let them go. That's what you do. You know that they don't have documents, and you know that they have been living here for the past 10, 15, 20 years. They marry and they live here. But because the person says Jalo, you bring them down, you carry them to the office, you take money from them, and then you let them go. Is that part of the immigration policy?
No.
That's harassment of our colleagues from other countries, from the ECOWAS countries. The law says the person does not have a document and you cannot deport them, you should contact their embassy.
Right.
That's what the law says, right?
Right.
Good. But you have never contacted any embassy for the people you arrest at these gates. So why?
Well, let me say again, Honorable Senator, I have come here today asking for your blessing.
I want to bless you.
These issues have existed, and thankfully, since you are at the helm of authority, I am willing and ready to work with.
Nominee, I want you to pull the ball by the horn. That's why I'm pressing you with these questions. I know that you have come with strength and energy. I don't want you coming back here. This is my second time trying to do confirmation hearing for immigration laws. The first time, they didn't pull the ball by the horn. You are here today, I want this ball to be pulled by the horn. Liberia is going down. We're taking money and we're prioritizing money over our safety. That's one point. The other thing is, sir, ECOWAS has a policy. Besides the ECOWAS policy, we have a tradition. Somebody from Lofa, from Grand Jide, from Maryland, we all have relatives across the borders. So, because of money, you don't close your eye. And if you want to close your eye, you call the next ambassador. I'll grab your citizen, he is not processed. The ambassador will send their person to process that person. We have been living in this country for 177 years. Go on a plane, go on to Sierra Leone and look over the houses here and see what the color of the zinc looks like. There's no development. You go to the great United States where you all got your training to come here. Strangers provide development. Strangers. Good strangers. Do we want strangers in our country? Do we want to help people who don't have documents to have documents? Yes, we can help them. And I told my immigration people, get the forms to the people who are not citizens, you know where they live. Drop their forms to them. This is the process if you want to stay here. After 2-3 months, you visit them. Are you ready? Process their documents. It's not about grabbing them and taking money from them. We should not intimidate our colleagues, our brothers and sisters. And that's what is happening. So we see immigration here, it becomes a problem. Now let's come back to Burkina Faso. If you take 10,000, which the DV from $20 US from Burkina Faso that are living in the forest, you went to them in the forest. And when I say people, I mean your people. You go there and take money from them. What do you think they're gonna do next? They will send the information across and say the information here that worked up. And more will come. More will come. And as the more come, more will get 10,000, which is DV from. And then we have a problem. And when branches start having problem, then you will come up with security information, all the people training. But you are the one that recruiting the people because you're taking 10,000 from them. So now, they're giving information, you got 10,000 Burkina Faso branches, but you're not sure who they are. What are you don't even have the numbers. My advice to you, those who are there and taking money from these people, to have to first be recalled. You will bring them back to Monrovia, then you send new people.
I take that seriously, sir.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Yaya Nimble, for those loaded questions in advancement. At this point in time, we'll take Senator Garo Brown from Maryland to pose his question to the nominees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And nominees, let me congratulate you for your preferment by the President. Mr. Chairman, I think one of the reasons why the issue of the Burkina beads is dominating the hearing is because of the gravity of the matter. Whilst we are on our break, we receive communications from the European Union, especially those of us from the Southeast. And we were told that the European Union has passed a policy that cocoa from the Southeast Liberia will be banned on the European market. And the issue of the Burkina bees infiltrating our forest, infiltrating protected land, is causing us harm, not just security-wise, but economically. The whole region has been earmarked for banning. That's why you see us are so passionate about this subject of intelligence. It's not about that we want to give you problem. Now our people who, for example, Burkina bees are not yet in Maryland. But Maryland is part of the Southeast. And now they have this blanket order that cocoa from the Southeast will be banned because Burkina bees are in Nigeria, they have gone to the forest. So, Honorable Commissioner-Designate, you have to understand what we are talking about. I mean, it was disappointing, Mr. Chairman, that the nominee did not come up with a plan, knowing fully well that this problem has persisted. He said, what is this problem? And you did not come to us with a plan that would maybe require our support, and you want us to confirm you. You go back, then you come back with a plan. Mr. Nominee, your plan is the basis of my vote. So let me go to the next issue that is linked to that. Porous borders. You are aware you have been in immigration for 20+ years. Can you tell me very briefly, how do you plan to manage Liberia's porous borders? I'm looking at from Papa, all the way, Fishtown River, all the way coming. So we have official and unofficial borders, legal borders. Tell me your plan, how do you intend to manage that border so that the problem we have with Burkina Faso now will be curtailed and that other nationalities will not follow what the Burkina Faso are doing to our region? That's the first question.
Yes, go ahead. Thank you, Honorable Senator. On the issue of the porous borders, what we intend to do, and I don't want to jump the gun, but during our engagement with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the African Development Bank, they have promised us that they will help us with some resources. This time I want to introduce some at least surveillance cameras and drones. Our officers will be able to use these things to monitor some of our borders. And the ones that we are going to be using, if it work, it will be sophisticated and will be able to monitor most of our porous borders. And at least we'll be able to move in men in town.
You want to use drones?
Because our officers cannot be everywhere.
How long would that plan take to be actualized?
Well, according to our engagement with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, by June, those funds will be made available.
Besides the funding, do you have the trained manpower to use those drones? You know what I'm talking about?
It is within the package, trained as well.
Chairman, I will not be that long. Let me just ask the last question. Mr. Nominee, in January, specifically January 8th, I read a newspaper, Front Page Africa. And in that paper, I saw your photo, and you were quoted as saying, "I am not a ritualist." Mr. Nominee, have you ever been accused of ritualistic practices? Question.
I have never been accused directly. It was only the Front Page Africa that placed a call to me that there are information coming out from Lofa County about death of some people and your name have allegedly surfaced. And when they came to my office, I told them I am not a ritualist. And what they are talking about, even in my own hometown, I have not been there for the last 9 years. And the people in question, they do not know me, and I do not know them.
Thank you for that clarity.
Thank you.
Mr. Mulbah, I don't have much questions for you. All I can say is congratulations on your preferment. I've known you very shortly, but for the short time I've known you, I know you to be committed, to be a professional. My regret is that our interactions is just brief. I wish you well, but you know that I have your blessings before you will need my blessings before you can depart. So congratulations, the Lord bless you. I wish you well at the Ministry of Defense. It's a bigger territory. We all wish you well. The issue of the Defense Ministry is all of us business. So what you're doing here at the Liberian Senate, if you can take it to a larger level, the society that will benefit the entire country, We give you all of our support. God bless you. Mr. Chairman, thank you, and I yield.
Thank you, Senator Robert Brown, for those comments. At this point, I want to take Senator Bill Prowell from Rivers to pose his question to the nominees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nominee, the issue of Burkina Beach in Liberia is very serious. Posterity will not judge us easily. They will not do anything about it. The Burkina Beach are known for invading other countries, and they go there in their drones and establish themselves as citizens, and they take control of your territory. You can ask the Ivorians, they will tell you how Burkina Beach entered the country as farmers, and today they are the major force in Africa Coast.
The presidency.
They have entered Liberia. People are estimating that they are between 30 to 40,000. There may be 1 million sometimes to come. If we continue to do what we are doing, we go there, we take 20 hours from there, we take 20 hours, 40,000 people. It's a business. So immigration will be in business, and as they take the money, they tell their friends, I play not how, 20 hours to you survive, they come here to farm. When they can't get in 20 hours. What mechanism have we envisaged to not make that process, the money-making process, and be very serious, that generation unborn will judge me harshly if I don't take an action? First question.
So, Honorable Senator, I will say safely that over the years I have served at the Liberia Immigration Service. My records are there. And I know that the officer looking at the character of the person, if I receive your blessing, you will confront. They know that definitely those things will not be permitted to happen at the Liberia Immigration Service, because I'm a different character they know of. And as the leader of the institution, they must follow as a lead. Those things will be curtailed.
The Honorable Senator for granted I told you about the 20 hour collection. Is this your first time hearing that your people collect 20 hours from people so that they can allow them to be where they are?
Few days ago, precisely, or 4 or 5 days ago, I received this information, and I have launched an investigation into the matter. In fact, the information was shared with me by the Honorable Saros when he was meeting with the Honorable Senator from Rentida. And I will not take it lightly.
Mr. Nominee, you have a master's in intellectual property. Am I right?
Which one?
The
No. I hope. No, my CV did not say I hold a master's. And a master candidate, I hold a bachelor degree in sociology, a 2001 graduate from the University of Liberia, with emphasis in public administration.
No, you look at foreign affairs. That's something that's a different CV.
Okay. Thank you. The nominee, Assistant Minister for Public Affairs. For you, I don't have any question. You have my vote. For immigration, I will never give you my vote if I'm not convinced that you will stop the idea of Burkina Beach entering our country. That many years from now they will take over our country and our children will not even have anywhere to live. I will vote against you and vote against any other nominee that will come here as long as the issue of Burkina Beach is not prioritized and the best is not done to topple the influx of Burkina Beach. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Senator Bill Prowell from Rufus says was that clear method. Thank you. We'll now take Senator Smith if he has anything to say. Briefly. A few minutes.
Just briefly, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just to follow up on one of colleagues from the said. Mr. Nominee, on the 29th of January this year, 2025, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso formally left ECOWAS. The Burkinabes in Liberia, how are you documenting them? As what? My first question.
All right. Honorable Senator, I remember very well when that decision was taken by those countries. The ECOWAS head of states and the leaders of ECOWAS decided to give them some months to rethink. And we are still working within that time period. So, should that period elapse, then the foreign ministry, which is the government arm to craft the government policy, whatever direction will be taken is what will be followed.
And finally, I want to tell you that the issue of Burkina in Liberia will play a major part in your confirmation. We want a clear answer. Very clear answer. Yeah. Because the people are entering resources, I think you heard it. They are in resources already in the archipelago. They are established a big farm in the forest. Yes, but this is why the EU people invited me to empower us one day. And so, please, maybe we will liaise with the chairman for serious discussion to take place before your confirmation. Thank you.
I know that seriously, sir.
Thank you, Senator Smith, for your comment, questions. So now we have in the House from one of our senators from Apollo. So we want you to introduce yourself, Senator Khaled, introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, Mr. Nominee, and your families. My name is Senator Amar from Boston County. I am a member of the Security, Defense, and Intelligence Committee. Happy to be here.
So you may then use the opportunity to ask questions if you have. No, you can go ahead.
I'm on the general reference. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Nominee, LIS. First of all, let me congratulate you for your nomination by the President to head our Immigration Service. Mr. Nominee, you know, we have so many checkpoints across our country. Now, if colleagues have asked that question, just let me know and I will get a briefing from the chairman because I came late. I remember when I was Minister of Planning, as we tried to resuscitate the Manu River Union to promote economic integration among the 4 member states, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. We embarked on the project, and the other member countries complained about the harassment of their citizens within our borders with these many checkpoints. So the Secretariat contracted a regional firm to do the tally in all 4 countries. And it was established that Nigeria has the most checkpoints internally from Bowwater to the San Pedro border with close to about 100 or so. And as we travel to our counties, I just came back from Mulbah on the constituency visit, particularly on the Bomi Highway. From Bama in Mulbah County to Monrovia, we have Bama, we have Sawmill, we have entering Tottenham, you have Clay, then you have two others between Clay and Monrovia. What are you going to do to address this? Because the transaction cost is on the commerce, particularly the market women. I mean, I stand there sometimes, I watch these things, but I don't interfere because that's not my mandate. I don't interfere in executive function. But I would like to see a relaxation of this. If the fear is, the concern is we have others coming into our country, I think it should be processed at the border, fingerprinted, and documented. Once they enter, you clear them. They are in within our country. They should be free to move around. But what is happening is that our own citizens are bearing the burden of this proliferation of checkpoints across our country. Can you tell this committee and commit? You tell us how you're going to fix it and commit to us that you're going to do your best to reduce this stress on our market women, on our citizens that are moving around, particularly citizens we may have a relationship with Sierra Leone, with Guinea, with Cote d'Ivoire, because they tend to be selective in their screening. That's my first question. My second question has to do with, you're from Lufa, correct?
Yes.
And the person you're replacing is also from Lufa, correct?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any problem with that. I would like to know the deputies you have and all the people you will be supervising directly. Perhaps you can share with the committee which counties they are from, whether you can commit to us that you will be fair and very inclusive in your recruitment, your promotion, and career advancement for people who are there, so you don't concentrate on Lufa with the hope that by doing so they will vote for you to become senator tomorrow or representative. I mean, that's my question.
The question, say the question.
We want our commitment. We want to see an immigration force that is diversified, that reflects Liberia. That you will not go there and begin to plug in Lothians because you have some ambition, hidden ambition, and then in that process you actually destroy the institution. So can you speak to that with us? Those are my two questions. I don't want to keep you here for long. I can wait.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. And let me begin with the last question, the issue of recruitment, the aspect of fairness, geographical balance. I am committing myself to you today that in the event there is recruitment, it's going to be fair and it is going to be geographically balanced. So, as the committee hearing the Defense, Intelligence and Security, I can promise you, if for any reason you know that I have fasted the commitment I'm making here, call me to vote, and if there is any punitive action, do not hesitate. I'm a man of fairness. When we talk about the many checkpoints which Honorable Senator from Grand Leader is the Honorable raised, and I also give my commitment that these issues will be addressed in a very short time when I take a tour around the counties.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Senator. We have two follow-up questions, and I will close because we have foreign affairs that will be coming soon for confirmation as well. So we will take one maybe follow-up questions. One will come from Senator Dillon, and another will come from Senator Paul. So, Senator Dillon, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. I'm very grateful buttress your information or announcement that immediately after this hearing, there will be hearings for 2 ambassador-designate to Egypt and South Africa by the Committee on Foreign Affairs right here in this chamber. Lord Chair, thank you, Mr. Nominee, for immigration. Resident permit and work permit, they work in tandem, correct?
Right.
Without resident permit, you can be issued work permit.
Right.
How long should, by law, an immigrant be resident in Liberia before he or she is qualified for resident permit, which is a condition precedent to obtaining work permit? Question.
All right. The issue of the resident permit issuance, because there are other institutions when they bring in somebody, they bring in on the basis of contract. So if you enter lawfully and you brought them to work in the country, you can apply for resident permit. But if you came on the business adventure, you should not go beyond 90 days. You should be able to at least apply for your residence permit.
How long should an immigrant be resident in Liberia to qualify for a residence permit, which is a condition precedent to obtaining a work permit?
3 months.
3 months. You lay here 90 days and you already qualify for work permit, for residence permit.
Yes, Honorable Senator.
So without resident permit, issuance of resident permit, an immigrant cannot get a work permit.
You cannot.
So somebody can come and apply for 3 weeks for a particular job.
Yes, it is permitted. Some entities hire individual or persons.
Do you think that is a loophole in the law that we need to correct or school starting?
We can look at that, Honorable Senator.
Because you see, like the PBCC law, they say in order for us to manage government money and get best outcome of it, we'll go through bidding process. Then in the same law, we say, when emergency or something, they want to do single source. So everybody going for single source. Road construction, keeping air, everybody leaving all the bidding thing now and using single source. So there's a loophole in our law that is not yielding what was expected, the outcome. So people want work permit, they come in the country, they apply for special application, and that is discretionary to the immigration. Correct?
Yes, we review your application.
So the immigration can grant special privilege resident permit because somebody wants somebody to get a particular job on a work permit.
We do not prejudice, the process is open. And if you talk to the alien community, they will tell you that we do not prejudice those things.
So somebody who live here 90 days, you get a resident permit if you qualify by good behavior and keeping our laws.
Right.
Another person who came only for a particular job can apply within a week or 2 for resident permit for the purpose of getting the work permit. Even if the work permit is coming to apply for a carpentry job, because some of the resident permit, some of the purpose for resident permit is to apply for work permit to do carpentry job, electrician job, driving job, storyboard job that are prohibited by law and restricted only for Liberians.
So, Honorable Senator, the resident permit is not the requirement only of getting a work permit. Some people do take resident permit.
Resident permit is a condition precedent to obtaining work permit. So somebody can apply in 2 weeks, they enter the country in 2 weeks and they want resident permit because they want work permit for carpentry job. There are carpentry job, for instance, driving job, for instance, at Western Cluster, they're paying foreign drivers $3,000 a month and paying Liberians who are driving in that same company, the same equipment, $600. How do you guys scrutinize these things?
Honorable Senator, usually when resident permits are requested, they do tell us sometimes specifically what the person is want to do.
Correct.
But if you do move to the labor ministry, you are applying what specific work you will be doing. It is up to labor whether they should issue the permit to work or not to work. So you can take resident work, you can be given a job to work, you can reside in Liberia, you can enter into personal affairs.
No, Mr. Nominee, I've been in the justice system. I know what I'm asking. If somebody comes here, got a legal immigrant status, they live here for 90 days, after 90 days, they apply to be resident in Liberia. You get a resident permit. Another person comes here, stay here 2 weeks, and apply for resident permit because they want work permit. Then you say, like, only labor ministry. Somebody live here 2 weeks and say, please give me resident permit because I want work permit to do a particular job. You don't have a role there to ask.
We do.
And if the person is applying for a job that is reserved for Liberians, qualified Liberians, available and suitable, and you still giving them the resident permit, you think you also part of the problem of depriving Liberian private sector jobs?
If a resident is given on that basis, I will say yes.
No resident permit have been given on that basis with less than 90 days.
No resident permit have been given.
Then don't say if. We want to correct it. Without past concessions here, the concession is supposed to provide or create 1,000 jobs, 500 jobs. We put it in the decent work law that the labor ministry must not give work permit to non-Liberians for certain category of jobs that Liberians are qualified for and available and suitable to take so that they too can get jobs. Then in the end, immigration gave the people work permit within 2 weeks because that work permit will be used to go obtain, resident permit will be used to go obtain work permit. At Western Cluster, I have the evidence that carpenters, non-Liberians, far from even West Africa and Africa, they're doing carpentry job at Western Cluster, they're doing plumbing job at Western Cluster, they're doing accounting and bookkeeping job at other places. And they get on work permit before the 90 days expire that they're supposed to qualify for resident permit. You giving them the resident permit so that they can go take the job from our Liberian people. All the other people always say, we here, we doing nothing. When we pass the law, you're supposed to enforce the law. You are not enforcing the law, it comes back on us. That is why I asked you the first question, how many legal residents in Liberia, according to your own database, you couldn't answer, you knew where we're going. Mr. Chairman, are you?
To just to give that,
Thank you, Senator.
just quickly, if a man comes in for 90 days, it should not be automatic that after the 90 days, he gets resident permit.
Exactly.
It should go through due diligence process. It should be some background check. But maybe that's not a requirement, but it should be. So that's what I want to add to it. Not because the man is coming as a, they can employ you in Namibia to come and work in Liberia. But you can do some background check whether that man is fit and proper. They call it fit and proper test for you to work in our environment. So I don't want to, you can take that on my advice, man. You may not have a lot of answer. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Let's get Representative Cooper, then Representative, Senator Cooper. Sorry, we gotta get used to Senator, please.
Yeah, thank you.
Chairman, to the nominee.
I have one concern and a question. My first question has to do with, I'm not encouraged by your presentation. In every given institution, when you are nominated for subsequent confirmation, you must first of all convince the body of your professional background, meaning there must be some success story. Many of us ask you a question here, you never told or one day what have been your achievement at the institution. You only say it's 20 years. You need to convince us. You need to convince us. See what? Now you are not on foot. Great. Wow.
Go ahead. So the
second aspect has to do with, are you a member of the National Security Council? The 2011 National Security Act. Are you a member?
Yes, the LRS is member.
If you are a member, have you ever shared information with the Security Council that is headed by the security advisor to the president? If yes, what are the information you provided? Is it voting? You got confront and confront. I'm not intending to ask you to give us confront information, but the confront aspect is what we want. Since we've been having meeting with the Security Council, because then where information sharing comes about. The Foreign Ministry is part. The Ministry of Finance is part. And we're talking about sensitive issue that has to do with the immigration issue with the popularity. And you're telling us we cannot qualify or quantify the number of Burkinabes that have entered Liberia. Do you serve as one of the members of the Security Council?
Honorable Senator, I am not a member. The Minister of Justice represents us at the National Security Council. We do meet joint security meeting where we provide briefing, and the Minister takes it to the National Security Council meeting.
If so, as member of the Joint Security Committee, have you ever shared information or search with the Minister of Justice for subsequent transmission to the security head, that is the security advisor?
I will say here, yes, sir.
Can you also provide us a comprehensive copy of that information into the security chairman so that for our consumption? Because what I said, if I know you very well, I know you for a considerable number of years, but we have two lives. We have private life and we have official life. Those two lives are unparalleled. We can never meet. We are discussing official issue. So despite being a friend, the official matter, because you are going to serve in a position of trust. So I will not compromise your friendship. If no information are not provided, you will not have a vote, and I will lobby with my colleague, then you will not get a job. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Coker, for that. Follow-up questions and comment. Lastly, we will now take Senator Corner for his follow-up question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to come to you based on Senator DeLong's intervention on the work permit and resident permit issue. Is the LIS a contributor to the national budget?
Yes, we do.
What is the source of contribution? What do you get money from to contribute to the budget?
For the issuance of residence permit.
Could this be the driver for the issuance of resident permit to people who shouldn't receive it, so that you can contribute to the budget that we approve here?
I would say that is a factor.
Thank you.
So, thank you, Senator Corner, for that follow-up question, and thanks to the nominee for the response. Now, considering time, as chairperson of this committee that's comprised of 50 members, let me just remind you, nominees, that this committee is one of the most important committees in the Liberia Senate. It has got 50 members, And every county is represented on this committee. That's how important this committee is. And you see the security questions coming up. And you see the consensus, all of the senators, nominees, you have to take due note. And so, before I close, I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. First, let me go to the Assistant Minister for Public Affairs. Mr. Assistant Minister, you are going to the Defense Ministry as an Assistant Minister for Public Affairs. Are you going there as an advocate? Question.
Thank you, Senator. I don't know the context in which you are speaking about going as an advocate, but I know as the Assistant Minister-Designate for Public Affairs, I am going to manage the communication and public image of the Ministry of National Defense and will advocate for the Ministry of National Defense, the Armed Forces of Nigeria.
Against the government of Nigeria?
Not against the government, sir.
So, Mr. Nominee.
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to work with the hierarchy of the Ministry of National Defense? We didn't get a complaint from here, we didn't get any internal fight. Are you going to assure us that?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I've said to you that the ministry, I've been with the Ministry of National Defense or the Armed Forces for over 10 years. The regiment, the discipline are all intricated into what we do. So yes, I know the ethics, the work ethics, and I'm going to work with my forces and the rest of the other staff. I can assure you that.
All right, we can always call you the committee meeting for further discussion concerning time.
Yes, sir.
Now let's go to the Commissioner of Immigration Designate. Mr. Commissioner, you have been working for the Bureau of the Liberia Immigration Services for 20 years, according to your CV. Do you have a relationship with your deputies?
Yes, I do have a positive relationship with my deputies.
The reason why I ask this question is that we have had institutions having issued with deputies that the Drugs Enforcement Agency. You just got the news where we have dismissed 2 of them, 3 of them, so to speak. And right now, as we speak, there is also tension at the Drugs Enforcement Agency with deputies in the boss. And we hope not to have such. And that's why it's from that background I'm asking that question. Are you in good relationship with the deputies?
I'm in a very good relationship.
How well you want to take care of the welfare of your men?
The welfare of our men is very genuine to us. That is also at the core of our heart. It is our heartbeat to ensure that our men welfare is improved. So we will be working with you, Honorable Senator, if confirmed, so that we can see the need to give more assistance to our men in the field, to dignify them.
I do not want to re-emphasize the importance of the Burkina Beach issue. As Chair of National Security, I've been praying to the Senate and through the protest for us to have a public hearing on this issue where that will be you, because the issue of Burkina Beach is not just immigration. It goes beyond immigration. It has other security factors, and even the issue of the Refugee Commission all getting involved. So we've been through a formal letter to this protest for us to have an open hearing on this, and you might be invited to that hearing. And so get a holistic approach how to resolve this problem. This is not just an immigration problem. It's a national security issue. So we're going to be doing that. But BSA, we want you to kindly, like colleagues have said, in the next few days, give us holistic plan of how you turn, from the immigration standpoint, how you turn to resolve this issue of the Burkina Beach. Because senators have said it, it's a national security threat, and we don't take care of it, it might cause sovereignty issues. And so it's key. So take note, in the next few days, we want a comprehensive plan how you turn to solve this from an immigration angle. Another concern as chairperson, and I've been working, and I will talk to my colleagues for us to talk about it in my regional executive, we have learned and have seen contracts that all of our identifications contracts are in the hands of foreigners. Is that the case?
That's right.
Wow.
And this is a security concern. We will have to stop this in the next 6 months. We cannot have our identifications, all, I'm saying all, in the hands of foreigners. According mentioned the issue of content rumor, this has been one of the contracts that I have spoken against since my first day in the Senate when I had the opportunity to mount that podium. This contract is of a security threat. Not only a security threat, but it's of an economic loss to us. Because when you were doing your resident permit money, you were making more money.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Then we are now going digital, giving it to a foreign company, and we're making less money. That contract must come to an end. I'm seeing immediately.
Yes, sir.
Whatever it takes to the Justice Minister says the Senate has spoken. The chairperson on the Standing Committee on National Security, what the rest of the Senate has spoken, that that contract must come to an end. It's an economic loss, it's a security risk to our country. Yes. So, in closing,
Mr. Chairman, if you will, I'd like for us to meet in chambers hopefully in the next 2 days before we make a decision.
okay. So, in closing, I'll just about that. When the issues that came up in the hearing is very sensitive, you may not have been opportune to answer for the questions. So your confirmation will continue in closed door. We communicate with you the time and the venue. We have to go further beyond the plenary to continue your confirmation. The issues raised are very cardinal, and we want you to come and give us a cabinet plan how you tell the subjects. I'm sure you took note about the issue of the resident, the Burkina Bees, and all of the concerns, etc. Has since in fight the borders around national security. We want you to have a second hearing, but that will be in Chinos. I mean, let's say in Cameroon. It will not be done here openly, it will be done behind closed door. But we'll communicate that question, that particular time and then we'll get it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And having said that, please, this is a sixth time I want to ask the Sergeant to kindly discharge the nominees.
Is he still on the oath before you?
No, discharge.
Well, folks, this is Scrutiny. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nelson Collette. Of course, we've been live coverage of
I say any of the confirmation hearing of the
We'll take a break.
10 minutes.